Happy Thursday, everyone, and welcome to another session with MBRT. I am Annalisa Sawyers, your state program manager, and I'm so glad that you guys are joining us again today. I am pleased to have with me today Miss Jasmine Taylor, who is the Director of HR and Safety for Six Flags right here in Maryland, but it serves the greater DMV area. And we're going to be talking today about how courses matter and choices matter, making sure you make appropriate choices so that when people either see your transcript or your resume, they're seeing the best you. So sit back. You're going to get some great information from Jasmine today. And I'm so glad that you guys are here with us. So Jasmine, thank you so much for joining us today. How are you?
I am doing well, doing really well today.
Awesome. So, again, thank you for participating in this session with us. We are so glad that you're here, and we're going to go ahead and get started so that we can honor your time and not kind of have you away from your duties for the day. So, really quickly, could you tell us a little bit about what your title is again and what exactly it is that you do in your position?
So I'm the Director of Human Resources and Safety at Six Flags. So I oversee everything in the HR world. So from recruiting people, before you become an applicant, all the way through your employment. So interviews, training, just employee investigations, handling any type of legal work, reviewing policies, setting policies, things like that. And then on the safety side, anything that happens in the park, making sure the park is operating safely, everybody is doing what they need to do inside the park.
Uh-oh. I think we had a little bit of technical difficulty. Are you still there, Jasmine?
Still there.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm still here. Can you hear me?
It's fine.
Okay.
It's fine. Thank you again. So yeah, that sounds like it's a lot of different duties where you're wearing a lot of different hats, and at any given time, you might have to kind of switch gears. Is that pretty accurate?
Yes, you definitely have to be flexible, and when one thing slows down, something else picks up. So
Absolutely. So really quickly, before I get into the next question about, your training for your position, when people think of Six Flags and think of jobs for Six Flags, they typically think that it's strictly high school based or that like it's just a summer job because they're only open. Your guys are only open during a season. Well, I mean, what else could you possibly be doing with Six Flags, or are there other careers potentials that go on behind the scenes outside of what we see going on in the parks?
yeah, absolutely. So that's one thing that I love about Six Flags and really the hospitality industry in general, because within one business, we operate like a mini city. So every job field, every industry is represented in our company. We have everything from construction and engineering all the way to finance, accounting, human resources, IT, sciences, things like that. So, I mean, our safety manager has to be an environmentalist at the same time. So these are all things that, we definitely have within our one company. And that's what I love about, our industry, the hospitality industry as well.
That's really interesting. And that kind of leads to the next question I have, because you were talking about the different types of positions and careers that you could pursue. And you were saying that someone even has to be an environmentalist. So what type of educational background or training would be, I guess, best suited or is required for these types of positions? I would think a little bit of everything could be applicable.
Right. Yeah. So definitely a little bit of everything. But if you have a specialty, you can go into that one specialty. So for our IT folks, they definitely, can generally get an IT degree or do some type of IT training, whether it's in high school, especially for our seasonal entry level positions. But then as you kind of, advance into full-time roles and salary positions, and that's when we're looking for a little bit more training with college degrees, as well as some, type of trade schools for our mechanics and our construction folks and things like that. So we try to, the positions and the experience that you need is kind of varied. It really just depends on what level you're coming in at. One thing that I love about us is that we have an entry level role for every job. So, I started as an entry level person. It started as a summer job and it became a career.
Wow. And that's something that I think a lot of people, especially our younger students, don't think about. And that was actually going to lead to my next question. So let's say there's a student that is like really interested in the hospitality industry or theme parks in general, and they want to make this a career for them, and they, realize that they're young and they're just starting out. So what type of courses or things should they be focusing on from a high school level that could set the foundation for them to move into a position with you guys at an entry level and then possibly progress to a career level?
Okay, so I would definitely say algebra, any of your math courses.
Really?
In every single one of our roles, it requires some math. Even our ride operators, our entry level 16-year-old ride operators need math skills because they have to calculate. They have to calculate ride throughput. Our cashiers need math skills because of giving change and doing those types of calculations. So I use math a lot. But it's, once you kind of get into the administrative roles, then it's Excel. Excel is so important, and keyboarding are so important. So that was one thing that I definitely took advantage of when I was in high school. I didn't think that I needed keyboarding. And then I realized very quickly when I started working that I needed to learn how to type. When I was growing up in high school, when I wanted to type or a text, I was a very quick texter, but I had to hit, the number 2 3 times to get the letter C.
Right.
And then once we got the full keyboards, I was able to use that with my thumbs, but I couldn't use all of my fingers, all of my digits. So definitely keyboarding was a course that I think is very important to take when you're in high school, and then of course English and how well you speak to people, how well you read or write, and be able to interpret stuff. When we post our standard operating procedures, our emergency manuals, you need to be able to read that and comprehend it, and then apply those learnings in response to something.
So that I'm so glad you said that because I think that some of those things that you mentioned, a lot of students feel like they're not necessarily important skills because we're so technologically digital with everything right now. So the art of knowing how to speak correctly, which we kind of focus on when we do our interviewing skills workshops, making sure that you know how to appropriately articulate things and how to represent yourself well. And I think that kind of goes along with the other courses as well. So when you see a potential entry level person from high school, do they have to submit a transcript to you, or do you just take a resume, or what types of things let you know that this is a person that would warrant you spending your time to speak with their interview?
Right. So the majority of the folks that we get, don't have any work experience. And what we are looking for sure, and specifically, is what does your transcript look like? Because your transcript is going to tell us a lot of things. It's going to tell us what type of grade you have, how hard you're going to work. Are you going to show up for work? Your attendance and tardies and things like that. And then really, did you go above and beyond? Did you just take the classes that were required, or did you do I see on there that you took a Cisco class or a keyboarding class? If I see that on your resume or your transcript, that makes you stand out to me, and that makes me want to maybe put you in some of these other roles instead of being out in the park all the time.
Okay, so I'm going to give you a scenario here based off of what you said. So let's say that you meet a young person out just in your daily life, and just through conversation, they find out that you work for Six Flags and that they're interested in applying. And you're really impressed with this person, and they're, speaking well, and they're giving you eye contact. They're doing all the right things. And then you get their transcript and it doesn't seem to match up with the person that you met. How does that translate, or how does that help or hurt a person that actually is interested in working with you all?
Right. So one of the things that I actually talk about a lot with people is that a job interview, you're putting on a show, right? But the body of work that you present to me is truly going to be what the testament is as to how well you're going to perform at work. So if you speak well, that's wonderful. But I want something to come behind that. I want to see the proof in the pudding, and I want to see what the transcript is. So there have been several times where a person didn't get a position just because their transcript just wasn't, they didn't apply themselves in any of their classes. They, tardies, absences, all of those types of things. And we realized, hey, if you did this in school, are you going to do this at work? Because work is really optional. You don't have to do it. You choose to. So
Absolutely. Yeah, that makes such good sense because again, like you said, it's almost like putting on a show. So that interview could be just the representative and not the true indicator of who the person is, but that transcript. So students, you're hearing it first. It does matter whether you show up to class on time. It does matter what you do and the courses that you take. So those things are really important. That's what Jasmine's telling us. Even at an entry level position, that could eventually, as she did, evolve into a career position. So I want to ask you a couple of other questions because, again, I want to be respectful of your time. So why is it important to be strategic in the courses that you take in high school, or even sorry, when you get even into college? Why does it matter that you take one course over the other, especially in an industry like you all, where you have so many different career options that are available?
Absolutely. So for sure, it's important because number one, you don't want to limit yourself. You do not want to say, well, these are the basic classes that I have to take, and I don't want to do anything more, because once you do, you don't know what you're going to do. I changed my career mindset. I started off wanting to be a rapper, and I am now a HR director, the complete opposite. But I changed my career path so many times. I went through so many ideas of what I wanted. And it wasn't until I was in my 20s that I realized this is the path that I want to go. So, taking classes that are important to you that you will enjoy, but also taking courses that are your weaknesses. You have to. Beyonce actually said, she said, people don't want to rehearse because it humbles them. You don't want to take a class just because it's too hard or you're not the best at it. You want to take a class because you're not the best at it and you want to get better.
Absolutely. So would you mind telling us a little bit about your journey? Like you said, you started off wanting to be a rapper. I'm so intrigued by that. But so you said you started off wanting to be a rapper. How did that transformation happen? What life, I guess, incident happened that caused you to kind of get on this path, if you don't mind sharing?
Yeah, absolutely. So I wanted to be a rapper, and then I realized that somebody asked me to write a poem about something that I found no inspiration in. And I said, nope, I don't want to do this anymore. There's no way I could do this for a career. So then I changed it. I said, all right, I want to be a teacher. And I did teaching really well, and it was all cool. And then I got to my senior year and I didn't have any more courses to take. All I had to take was English and another couple of courses to fill up the day. And then I was done for the day and I could have a half day schedule. And I didn't want a half day schedule. We would have been out at 10 o'clock in the morning. What do you do at 10 o'clock after 10 o'clock? Yeah. So what I said was I want to take another class, and I ended up taking nursing. And I took a couple of AP courses just to keep me going, keep me in the school day. I mean, at the end of the day, we got out of school, I think it was 2:25. So I wanted to do more with it. And then I took nursing, fell in love, said I was going to be a nurse. And then I actually got accepted to college for nursing, and I changed my mind and went to the Navy. Exactly. I'm all over the place, right? Then I decided that I wanted to be a police officer. I wanted to own an investigations firm. Actually was going to go the federal route, go Secret Service. I mean, it's long story. But then what I really realized was, at the end of the day, what I was looking for was a way to have a well-rounded experience. I wanted to help others. One thing that was like really important to me was community service and helping people. So that's when I realized that maybe human resources is what's the best for you. I mean, I get to teach, I get to still conduct investigations, I still get to do performances, and I get to put on events. So I still have my little rap going on. And then at the end of the day, I get to help people the most. So it's a well-rounded experience. And that's what I kind of realized, that moving through all of these career paths, it's okay to change your mind, but you got to have a plan and finding what's right for you.
And I'm listening to it, and the first thing I could think about was the industry that you're in, hospitality, and thinking about amusement or theme parks. They're global, and the people that come from all over the world. And so you're interacting with people from different ethnic backgrounds, from different countries that speak different languages, and just all of those different experiences, I'm sure, led or help kind of put together the person that you are now. Even on the other end of your job, from the safety aspect, having that little bit of nursing background, or just knowing a little bit of things, kind of help, I'm sure, with that. So what I gathered from that is that it's great to be well-rounded, to, like you said, take those courses that may not be suited to your strengths, to help build more another layer to who you are as a person to aid you as you're going through your career or finding yourself to find your career. So that's awesome, awesome. So I know again that I want to be respectful of your time. So we're kind of getting to our crux of a moment. Are there any other tidbits or suggestions that you could give to someone that maybe is kind of looking at their transcript right now and they're going, okay, not the best, but I definitely am feeling what, Jasmine said, and I understand that I need to make these changes now. What are some tips or suggestions that you could give to them? So if they were to go and apply for a job, but they haven't kind of gotten that transcript together yet, that they could explain, to a person their changes are about to be, or how they're going to make themselves better.
Absolutely. So, first of all, I did want to talk about the languages. I don't know why I didn't mention this, but we are always looking for someone who speaks another language. We're always looking for someone who speaks Spanish and ASL. Those are the two top languages that when somebody walks into our offices, we are saying, who speaks Spanish, who speaks ASL, who can help these people.
Wow.
So in high school, take those classes, take the classes that teach you another language and actually learn the other language. Don't do enough just to pass, actually learn the language. But if you haven't gotten your transcripts together, listen, my first year of high school, my ninth grade year, I failed. I failed horribly. I got my first E, and my mother was not happy with me. But when it was time to apply for college, I had to explain why I had a 2.0 in my freshman year and a 4.0 in my senior year. It brought my average down. And what I did was I sent a letter with my college applications explaining what happened in my freshman year. And I was honest. I said I didn't apply myself. I didn't take it seriously. And but this is what I plan to do about it. And this is what I have done about it. So if you have the courses where you did turn it around, if you want to explain, hey, these are where my weaknesses and I'm still working on them. I picked up a tutor, or I will have better grades this quarter, things like that. Definitely send a letter ahead of it, and do a cover letter with your transcript to explain any courses that you have and talk and highlight your strengths as well.
Okay. It's so funny that you said Spanish and ASL. Those are the two things that I actually am fluent in. And for those that don't know, could you tell you what ASL is?
American Sign Language, sorry.
That's no, I don't problem, because I know a lot of people are like, ASL, what's that? So yeah, and you're right. It's a skill that I picked up early in life that I never thought would be something that could potentially turn into a career opportunity. And you're absolutely right. That's a skill that in an amusement park people wouldn't think would be necessary, but absolutely it totally is. You have people from everywhere that come. So awesome. And that tip about sending a letter or an explanation along with your transcript could make the difference, I'm sure, with whether or not you decide to call a person in for an interview as opposed to passing on that person. So perfect. Well, thank you so much. I truly appreciate all of that, and I'm sure our viewers do as well. So I'm sure a lot of people are wondering, and I'm gonna put you on the spot here. Any idea when the parks are going to be opening back up?
We don't know yet. We're working really, really closely with our county health officials and our county government to discuss that. Obviously we want to take it slowly, but I will tell you that it will not look the same when we do open. We have so many precautions that we're putting in place. So we can't wait to get open. Our guests, our employees are ready to get back to work. We're all going crazy, but we're going to do it safely. So we want to make sure it's safe for our employees, safe for our guests, and we're working really closely with our county government, and they've been very gracious. So we're excited to get to that point. We're just patiently impatient.
Understood. So, and I'm sorry. When you said this, it made me think of another question. I promise I'll let you go soon. So students that may be interested in applying for a position with you all, even though, like you said, if things are looking different, I know the timeline different. This is kind of when you guys are getting ready to gear up, but then you wind down towards as the fall starts to kick in. Are you guys still accepting applications? And if so, where could someone send their transcript or resume to you?
Absolutely. So sixflagsjobs.com is where you would apply. We are still accepting applications. We're still conducting interviews. We are doing interviews virtually. We are reaching out to everybody daily. So we will. Sixflagsjobs.com is the location. We are still hiring, and when I tell you when we get the green light, it's going to be a run. So
Awesome.
definitely getting ready.
Awesome. I know everyone can't wait. My daughter is always looking to go to anyone's amusement park. So I know she's ready to go as well. Well, good deal. Well, Jasmine, thank you so much for taking time out of your day and spending it with us and giving us some great information. Everything that you said was right on the money. And I know that it's definitely benefited people that are watching today. So we're going to go ahead and get ready to sign off for today. I want to thank everyone for joining in. Please don't forget to follow us on Twitter and Instagram, as well as download our mobile app Way to Be, which can be found in the Google and Apple stores. And get ready to join us for another session. I believe we have another session on tomorrow. Right here on Facebook Live. Again, I am Annalisa Sawyers for MBRT. And on behalf of myself and Jasmine, thank you again for joining us. And we'll see you next time. Take care, everyone.